Good morning and welcome back to the one that Celtic fans view. Thank God we support Celtic because let's face it, last night, well, what can we say about last night?
Doesn't it make you proud to be Scottish?
It's shite being Scottish! With the lowest of the low! The scum of the fucking earth! The most wretched, miserable, servile, pathetic trash that was ever shot into civilization! Some people hate the English, I don't. They're just wankers! We, on the other hand, are colonised by wankers! Can't even find a decent culture to be colonised by! We're ruled by effete arseholes! It's a shite state of affairs to be in, Tommy.
Yep, it's a fucking shite state it appears to be in, but it gets worse. It does get worse. We need to listen to Steve Clark.
Raman.
Steve,
Wait for the microphone, please. Thank you.
This is hard work.
Steve, how do you pick that apart in terms of why it went so wrong tonight?
Because the manager's shite.
Difficult night. Obviously, we didn't play. Difficult night. Obviously, we didn't play to our standard, and I thought the German team were excellent.
Wow. I'm going to talk about this more on the Euro football channel, but I'm going to talk about the Celtic players that were involved last night. First of all, I'm not going to listen to him anymore on the Celtic channel. If you want to see my full reaction to what I think of Steve Clark, you don't want to jump on the gun, but I mean, yeah. I'll put a link to the other channel, and I'm going to talk about the Scotland game over there because I'm going to have a big fucking rant about it. But let's talk about it from a Celtic perspective. Tony Ralston started the game for Scotland last night, and I thought big fair play to big Tony Ralston getting in that starting lineup. He's not a regular for Celtic, and it shows why. Let's be honest, it shows why. He is a big bricky. And he's with us because he is part of the Scottish contingent. But let's be honest, this is the top level football stuff. This is Champions League type level football. And if we're going in with Tony Ralston into the Champions League, we're going to fucking just do a nightmare. Callum McGregor, what do you think about Callum McGregor last night? I thought Callum McGregor done okay, considering the terrible setup that they had in midfield, playing a midfield four so narrow. The Germans could just walk past you on the wings, and I thought Steve Clark got it completely wrong. I thought Callum McGregor did okay. He started getting into the game more in the second half, but let's face it, well, Scotland were shite last night, and they were just getting tanked. And you could tell after 5 minutes with the way it was going to happen. I mean, I stayed in the pub, and anyway, let's get some Celtic news in because fucking it's bad, isn't it? In fact, no, let's talk about it from a Celtic perspective again, because there's a goalkeeper that was playing for Scotland last night that a lot of you on this channel have been saying we should go for Angus Gunn. And for me, nah, all day long. Thank goodness he's not one of the goalkeepers that is getting regularly mentioned with Celtic, because I thought Angus Gunn, he's just not a goalkeeper for Celtic. If that's the standard that some of you want, we're in deep shit next season going into the Champions League. I just don't think that Angus Gunn is the goalkeeper for us. I thought, nah, he's not a goalkeeper. Anyway, let's talk about an ex-Celtic player who now plays his trade in the Saudi League. No, it's not fucking Jota, it's Jack Hendry. How did Jack Hendry manage up in the Saudi Arabian Pro League? A player that was bought from Celtic, from Dundee, and he was sold on. And you would think that he was out of sorts, wasn't he? I mean, Jack Hendry was out of sorts last night, and we'll even talk about Ryan Porteous fucking in that 2-footed tackle. Let's talk about Kieran Tierney, because that's a player that a lot of you want back at Celtic. How do you feel Kieran Tierney got on last night? This is the highest level of football. This is the level of experience that you want to bring in Kieran Tierney for to play against. And you can't say, Baz, wait a minute, fucking Stevie Clark had Scotland sitting in a back five and a back six at times. And it's no wonder you're going to get tanked. I mean, teams do that against Celtic and Scotland, and we always win. We always find a way through. So this defensive setup, in my opinion, was completely wrong. I thought Tierney, he didn't have his best of games. There was a few times that he managed to get out, but his forward ball wasn't that great. let's hope there's more for him the next 2 games. Because if he's not going to come to Celtic, you're wanting Kieran to go on and have. He's got one more big move at him in him, I think, Kieran, and he knows this. It's a summer that Kieran knows he's got one big last move, and I don't want him to come back to Celtic because it's an easy option for him. You know, I want him to come back to Celtic because I mean he said he wants to come back to Celtic at some point when he's still got a bit of football left in him, but. I just can't help feeling devastated about last night. Anyway, we shouldn't really be feeling devastated because it's Scotland, and like I said at the beginning, it's shy being Scottish. Tony Ralston, you have to feel for Tony Ralston, and let's be honest, because he isn't first choice at Celtic. The Germans did see him as the weakest link, and they fucking tore him to shreds at bits last night. He made a couple of Tony Ralston type tackles, and he got booked for it. Ex-Celtic player Ryan Christie. Ryan Christie was picked ahead of a young Gilmer, the ex-Celtic player, won his 50th cap, I think it was. We can all see why Ryan Christie left the club. Anyway, Scott McTominay is a Manchester United player, but he was linked with Celtic last summer. He has been linked with Celtic, but there's absolutely no chance Celtic ever getting Scott McTominay now because he's going to cost far too much. How do you think he fared in the team? Callum McGregor, the only Scotland player that I feel was given a hard job because he was right in beside Tony Cross. And let's face it, the fucking German's just head and shoulders above everyone. He made a couple of saving tackles earlier on. He made a saving tackle where he deflected it and the goalkeeper managed to save it. But it was replaced by Billy Gilmore, Billy Gilmore, and I think it's. I don't want it to do. I fear for games, and this is why I stopped watching Scotland years ago. I mean, I've got the only Scotland top I've got is a fucking Fila top, and it must be about 20-year-old. And the reason I stopped watching Scotland games is because it's fucking depressing. It is depressing when we never get to these tournaments for long enough. And then when you do watch it, it fucking shows you what it's like to be a Rangers fan. Winning fuck all. Anyway, John McGinn. John McGinn is a player that we all wanted at Celtic and the Scotland fans absolutely love. But he didn't have the best of games either. And Andy Robertson, Liverpool player, he didn't have the best of games. Che Adams. Now, I don't watch a lot of English football, but Che Adams before Shankland. Anyway, let's see what Celtic news is kicking around because I've depressed myself enough. And it's all going to be about the Scotland game last night, so I'm going to have to try and look up some Celtic transfer news. Obviously, Celtic officially miss out on Target. Well, that's fuck off. That's not a headline. There's not going to be a Scott McKenna, according to this report. Scott McKenna, I was hoping to have actually seen him last night. He's been told to agree a Celtic move. Scott McKenna has been advised to move to Celtic in the summer transfer window after his Nottingham Forest exit. Alan Hutton has told him to make the move. Well, there you go. Alan Hutton's told the 27-year-old to make the move to Celtic after spending the second half of the season at FC Copenhagen. And he made 21 appearances, all competitions for Copenhagen. He's left Forest. His contract will expire on the 30th of June. And McKenna, experience in England, having made 106 appearances for Forest, will racking up 33 ticks. 106 appearances for Nottingham Forest. This doesn't exactly set the heather on fire, does it? Alan Hutton explained his understanding of what it takes to perform under pressure in Scottish football. There's an opportunity to play Champions League football as well. I think it would be a good decision for him to be part of the Celtic team, said Alan Hutton. Kelleher, some people are saying that Kelleher, if he signs for Celtic, could be a Brendan Rodgers dream team. If Celtic do manage to get the Kelleher one, they're putting up what would possibly be the team. That's just pure speculation. There's nothing really going on about Celtic this morning because, let's face it, everyone is just, if you're from a Scottish point of view, and I know there are a lot of Irish fans that are Celtic fans, and they're thinking, what the fuck are you talking about Scotland for? They're shite. But the whole fucking nation will be devastating this morning, and I think that tanking, yeah. Join me on another channel where I'm about to explode about the whole fucking Stevie Clark situation. We will get back to talking about Celtic later on this afternoon. I'll try and do a live, and we'll see what news is kicking around, and talk about the Celtic players that are at the Euros, and hope that, I mean, I know it won't hurt their football career, but you wanted them to perform at the highest level to show how good they are for their club. And that didn't happen last night. And I thought, yeah, let's talk about it on another channel, because this is just going to be a fucking all over the shop video. Anyway, not a lot of Celtic news kicking around this morning. A lot of, even when you look up Martin Dubravka, Newcastle goalkeeper latest, nothing there either. There's nothing to see. Like I say, everyone's just talking about the whole situation with Scotland. And on that note, have a good day, Celtic fans. You've got to remember, we're champions. God. I don't know why I watch Scotland games. I fucking don't. I stopped watching them for years because they're shite. Anyway, that's enough.